Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. How are you today? Gary and I are here happy. We're welcoming spring. I know that there was a full moon in the spring equinox. I hope that you were there, welcomed it in. We're loving all the flowers blooming and the different colors that spring brings. So let us know how you are. How was your week? And this week we're continuing with the theme of heartbreak. So
I was just thinking, someone who tunes in and doesn't know the show and doesn't know that you're there,
I'm Danny. Hello, everybody. My name's Danny.
maybe thinks I'm a ventriloquist and I'm just using another
I'm
voice.
the voice from the other side. And welcome to the Gary and Danny Show. We love that you're here. Let us know how you are. And, come on in and share in the love and let us know how your week has been.
That's the Twilight Zone thing.
The Twilight Zone thing.
Yeah.
We're watching this new show called the Slow Horses with Gary Oldman, and we're loving it, every minute of it. So it's if you have a chance, what channel is it on? Is it Netflix or
Apple?
It's on Apple. So it's wonderful. If you haven't seen it, Gary Oldman is just amazing, and I don't know, if you haven't seen it, please check it out. It's wonderful. We love Gary Oldman, and we got to meet him a few weeks ago, which was really pretty cool.
A few months ago, actually.
Yeah, a few months ago, yes, and it was a lot of fun, and he's an amazing actor, and we're really enjoying this show a lot. So anyway, come on in, sharing the love, and let us know you're here. And what's new? This week it's about heartbreak. So if you're here and you need some healing for your broken heart, or if you just, sometimes it's a matter of time. Time heals all wounds.
Or wounds all heals, as they say.
Wounds all heal. That's right. And our dog Sam, who's sick, but he's, doing okay. And today's a good day with him. So he's here in the studio ready to...
Except he's mad that he didn't get to run with me this morning.
He
hey, Peter, we missed you last
Peter Grants, we missed you. And I need to reach out to you, Peter, so we can chat about the Watchmen.
Oh,
and my new realities I'm living with my heart condition. And Bob Vishera, the Vishera family, Camarillo's in the house. We're so happy you guys are here. And I always love your wife always posts these beautiful pictures of flowers and stuff that bring such smiles to my faces. Anyway, welcome. Happy Tuesday,
watching
you guys.
Flowers
Sending you
on
love.
The wall, that don't bother me at all.
No, flowers I always say are nature candy.
With a deck of 51, smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Well, don't tell me I've nothing to do. Do you remember that song?
I don't remember that song.
Flowers on the Wall.
But I used to watch Captain Kangaroo.
It's good to know you're done. You and me, we're having a fun, we're having quite a ball, watching flowers on the wall.
That's a good song.
Yeah,
I think I've heard that. I think you're right.
I don't know if I sang it, but it's a fun song.
Anyway, welcome.
Well, anyway,
Welcome
so at some point I want to see if my friend Jen Busadich is here, because she had a major heartbreak, major heartbreak,
I'll
and
let you know
we
when
want to
Jen
dedicate
joins
this
in.
show to her. And we'll tell you about it if she shows up. If not, I'll just tell you about it.
And we'll go rapper. And Tina Saddington's here.
Tina's
Hi,
here. I'm
beautiful.
doing a request for Tina tonight.
And my little brother Mark is here. My older brother was here.
Oh, and the Patty Silvershire Woohoo gal is here.
That's wonderful. Hello, everybody.
Yes, Statler Brothers. You are correct, sir.
Yes, the Statler brothers. There you go, Peter Krantz. He's the only one that can beat my husband in Words with Friends.
No. Many people can beat me, but I do beat Peter every once in a while.
Well, I never win when we play Scrabble together, because I make three-letter words like bat and cat, and Gary does like xylophone and shit like that. So I get my ass kicked every time.
Well, I haven't done xylophone yet, but that would be a good one.
But you did teach me the two-letter Q words and the two-letter X words.
Those
so now
are very
I know
important. Those are very important.
And Robert Mine is here. Hi, Robert. We're so happy that you're here. Sending you big love. And Deanna Herrera, Texas, is in the house.
You got to take your arrow off of it, and then it'll show.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
I didn't know why I was doing that. Oh, Peter said you beat him the last game. Well,
I did.
Peter, you got to let him win sometimes.
I don't think he let me, but I would like to think he didn't. All right. So anyway, I don't know if my friend Hallie Burton is here. She probably is coming in late, but she had a request, and I'm going to do this song as the first request. This is a lot of songs, some songs I hadn't done before tonight, so we'll have fun. Some of them are high. I'm doing a song by a friend of mine, Miss Sally Stevens, the great Sally Stevens. So here we go.
Lucinda and Brian are here. Hi,
Oh,
beautiful
excellent.
friends. Sending you lots of love. I'm doing okay. I'm getting stronger every day. I'm really good at talking back to Gary, so definitely.
You never had a problem with that.
Anyway, sending you some big love.
Well, since my baby left me, well, I found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of Lonely Street and Heartbreak Hotel where I'll be. I get so lonely, baby. Well, I'm so lonely. I get so lonely I could die. Although it's always crowded, you still can find some room for broken-hearted lovers to cry there in the gloom and be so. Get so lonely, baby. Get so lonely. They get so lonely they could die. Now the bellhop's tears keep flowing, and the desk clerk's dressed in black. Well, they've been so long on Lonely Street, and they're never looking back. They get so lonely, baby. Well, they get so lonely. Well, they get so lonely they could die. Well, now if your baby leaves you and you got a sad tale to tell, well, just take a walk down Lonely Street to Heartbreak Hotel where you will make it so lonely, baby. You'll be so lonely. You'll be so lonely you could die. Well, now though it's always crowded, you can still find some room for broken-hearted lovers to cry there in the gloom and be so. They'll be so lonely, baby. They'll be so lonely. They'll be so lonely they could die.
Woo! Miss Woohoo's here, Patty
A
Silvershare.
little Elvis there, baby.
Or you singing along? We're getting ready, Patty. We have our Bruce Springsteen concert coming
You
up.
going to finish that potato? My favorite Elvis joke.
Patty Silvershire is a big Springsteen fan, and I, because I got some tickets, and he got sick, so we were supposed to go like in December, so they rescheduled it for April.
Didn't Patty used to date Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah, Patty, didn't you date Bruce Springsteen? And so, Patty, we got to get together and practice our sing-alongs so we can do all the words.
Oh, you guys know it.
I love all the words, and so we're going to that, and then the next day we're leaving to go see the eclipse down in San Antonio.
So we'll have one show next week, and then we'll be off for a week when we go down to we're between San Antonio and Austin, on the direct line of the eclipse, and we're out in the wilderness and out in the desert, so we can see it clearly, hopefully, and we're really looking forward to it.
But
I've never
we're going
seen
with
a
all
full
the
eclipse.
science people, so it's great.
Yeah.
We're going to have explanations and the proper gear and everything. I'm really excited.
Heartbreak Hotel is a song recorded by Elvis Presley. It was released as a single on January 27, 1956, Presley's first on his new record label, RCA Victor. It was written by Tommy Durden and May Boren Axton, with credit also being given to Presley. A newspaper article about the suicide of a lonely man who jumped from a hotel window inspired the lyrics. May Axton presented the song to Presley in November 1955 at a country music convention in Nashville. Presley agreed to record it, and did so on January 10th, 1956, in a session with his band, the Blue Moon Boys, the guitarist Chet Atkins, and the pianist Floyd Kramer. Heartbreak Hotel comprises an 8-bar blues progression with a heavy reverberation throughout the track to imitate the character of Presley's Sun recordings. The song, it was Presley's first million seller. The song was written in 1955 by May Boren Axton, who was a high school teacher with a background in music promotion, and a Jacksonville-based singer-songwriter, Tommy Durden. Axton and Durden give different accounts of how the song was written. Durden's account is that he already written the song and performed it with his band before he presented it to Axton. Axton's account is that Durden had written only a few lines of the song and asked her to help him finish it. They were interrupted with the arrival of Glenn Reeves, a local performer who had previously worked with Axton. The duo asked Reeves to help with the song, but after hearing the title, he remarked, "That was the silliest thing I've ever heard," and left them to finish it for themselves. The song was written in an hour, and Durden recorded it onto Axton's tape recorder. Rumors have been circulating in the press for several weeks that Presley, who had begun his career at Sun Records, was ready to move to RCA Victor to help launch him nationally. Axton played the demo to him in his room at the Andrew Jackson Hotel on November 10th, 1955, and upon hearing it, Presley exclaimed, "Hot dog, May! Play that again," and listened to it 10 times, memorizing the song. Presley performed the song for the first time in Swifton, Arkansas on December 9th, 1955, and declared to the audience that it would be his first hit, and it was. All right, so let's see. What do we also? We have some Lawrence Mark. I don't know if Lawrence is here, but
I haven't seen him yet.
now Lawrence Mark had requested another sad song, "For No One," by the Beatles. It was on Revolver, and it was written by Paul McCartney. It was credited to Lennon and McCartney. An early example of Baroque pop, drawing on both Baroque music and 19th century art song. Anybody new show up yet?
I don't think I missed anybody.
Oh, good. Okay. Mostly performed by the composer, the track is distinguished by its French horn line, played first as a solo and then as a counterpoint in the final verse. It was considered one of McCartney's most mature compositions to date on its release. McCartney recalls writing For No One in the bathroom of a ski resort in the Swiss Alps while on holiday with his then-girlfriend Jane Asher. "I suspect it was about another argument," he later recalled. The song was recorded on 9/16 and 19 of May, 1966. McCartney sang and played clavichord, which was rented from George Martin's Air Company, piano and bass guitar, while Ringo Starr played drums, tambourine, and maracas. Neither Lennon nor George Harrison contributed to the recording. The French horn solo was by Alan Civil, a British horn player described by recording engineer Jeff Emmerich as the best horn player in London. During the session, McCartney pushed Civil to play a note that was beyond the usual range of the instrument. This is the highest range that usually, this E flat right here, but he's got him up here in F sharp and G sharp, so that doesn't happen very much on the French horn, at least not with a player that's not one of the best like Civil was. Civil said the song was recorded in rather bad musical style in that it was in the cracks, not in concert pitch. Neither B flat nor B major. It pretty much is B major if you listen on the record, but it's a little out of tune. This posed a certain difficulty in tuning my instrument. Civil is one of the few session musicians to receive credit on a Beatles album. Elvis Costello named it one of his favorite Beatles songs, saying it's everything great about Paul McCartney in one song.
It's Peter Crantz's favorite Beatles tune, too.
Is that right?
Right.
Oh,
and Jay
gosh.
Ross is here. Hi, my beautiful
Hello, Jay.
friend. I'm so happy you're here. Sending you lots of love, Jay.
All right, here we go. Your day breaks, your mind aches. You find that all the words of kindness linger on when she no longer needs you. She wakes up, she makes up, she takes her time and doesn't feel she has to hurry. She no longer needs you, and in her eyes you see nothing. No sign of love behind the tears cried for no one. A love that should have lasted years. You want her, you need her, and yet you don't believe her when she says her love is dead. You think she needs you. And in her eyes you see nothing. No sign of love behind the tears cried for no one. A love that should have lasted years. You stay home, she goes out. She says that long ago she knew someone, but now he's gone, she doesn't need him. Your day breaks, your mind aches. There will be time when all the things she said will fill your head. You won't forget her, and in her eyes you see nothing. No sign of love behind the tears cried for no one. A love that should have lasted years. That's a lovely song.
I pushed the wrong button. Did I push the Vox button? Can you look at me?
I think you're okay.
Peter Cranston's giving him his chills. I don't know if I've ever heard that song before.
You have. I've played it before.
Maybe I have, but I don't remember. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, today we're singing about heartbreak, but also the wonderful thing about heartbreak is the heart heals. It's like the yin and yang of life. You need to know love in order to know pain. And so those of you that are going through difficult times or something hard, we're sending you some big love out there, and sing along, because I always find that when you sing, the top of your lungs especially, you just kind of go into the present moment, and it brings you back into the here and now, and really that's all that there is.
That's true. That's true. So I don't know if she's here, so I'm just going to mention our good friend Jen Busanich, who lives in Australia, unexpectedly lost her husband John.
Yeah.
So we are very sad for her, and this is.
I haven't seen her on here yet.
I don't know, but we'll mention it. If you see her, let me know. But she's very talented and lives in Australia. I met her on a kind of group Zoom during the pandemic of people who perform all over the United States and all over the world, actually. So anyway, so this song was from a request from our friend Tina Saddington.
She's here, Tina.
A Lot of Love is a song written by Neil Young and released on his 1978 Comes a Time album. It was also covered by Nicolette Larson in 1978. Larson's version reached number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 8 on the Cashbox Top 100, and hit number 1 on the Easy Listening chart, and was a hit in Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Linda Ronstadt, who had sung backup for Young with Larson, had stated that it was at her suggestion that Larson record Lot of Love, and that Larson's producer thanked Ronstadt by having a top-of-the-line sound system installed in Ronstadt's Mercedes convertible. However, Larson's own recollection was that the suggestions he recorded Lot of Love originated with Neil Young, with whom she had formed a personal relationship while backing him vocally on American Stars and Bars. The publishers of Neil Young News quoted Larson as saying, "I got that song off a tape I found lying on the floor of Neil's car. I popped it in the tape player and commented on what a great song it was. Neil said, 'You want it? It's yours.'" Neil Young and his backing band, Crazy Horse, recorded Lot of Love in January 76, but the song would not see release until 78's Comes a Time. Larson provided background vocals for the album, but did not sing on its Lot of Love track, a sparse version of which emphasized the song's melancholy tone. Larson's version, which featured a string arrangement by Jimmy Haskell, one of the great arrangers of all time. He did Ode to Billy Joe and a million other things. I knew him and have sung with his daughter Scotty many, many times. Plus a classic soft rock horn riff and flute solo, presented the song as optimistic. Now, Larson died on December 16, 1997 in Los Angeles, California, as a result of complications arising from cerebral edema triggered by liver failure. She was 45 years old. According to her friend Astrid Young, Neil Young's half-sister, Larson had been showing symptoms of depression, and her fatal seizure was in no small way related to her chronic use of Valium and Tylenol PM. In February 1998, friends and associates of Nicolette mounted a tribute at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium, which raised over $165,000 for the UCLA Children's Hospital. The two-night engagement was billed as the Lot of Love concert and opened with an ensemble performance of A Lot of Love by our friend Rosemary Butler, Valerie Carter, Carole King, and Bonnie Raitt. In December 2007, A Lot of Love Memorial Concert was held to mark the 10th anniversary of Larson's passing. And in December 2008, the Talking Stick in Venice, California, hosted a Lot of Love Memorial Concert. I was there, which featured a performance of Lot of Love by Rosemary Butler and Andrew Gold. So
the Wandots are here.
Oh, fantastic.
For those of you that don't know, we have a wonderful couple that joins us. Gary's known Dorothy Dottie since college, and her partner is Wanda, so we call them the Wandots. Or maybe you gave us the name. I don't know.
No, I think you did. I think you made that up, honey. I think you did.
We love the Wandots.
I think you did it.
Sending you guys some big love.
Fernando's here from
Fernando
Cozumel.
From Cozumel.
We love Cozumel. If you want a great place in Mexico, go to Cozumel.
Go to Cozumel.
So just one thing about
Dottie. It's not her partner, it's her wife.
Well,
so it's the Wandots. What a beautiful couple. We love you. Sending you so much love. They made it up. I didn't make that up. That's a wonderful. It's great.
Oh, okay. I thought you did. Well, anyway, you guys are the best. Dottie was an amazing, supercharged actor in college, but is now a writer. Has many of her works published, and she's fabulous. And Wanda does stained glass windows and many other things too. So this song is Nicolette Larson's "Lot of Love" for Tina. Here we go. It's gonna take a lot of love to change the way things are. It's gonna take a lot of love, or we won't get too far. So if you look in my direction and we don't see eye to eye, my heart needs protection, and so do I. It's gonna take a lot of love to get us through the night. It's gonna take a lot of love to make things work out right. So if you are out there waiting, I hope you show up soon. You know I need relating, not solitude. Got a lot of love, got a lot of love. It's gonna take a lot of love to change the way things are. It's gonna take a lot of love, or we won't get too far. It's gonna take a lot of love, and take a lot of love. It's gonna take a lot of love, It's gonna take a lot of love, my darling. Gonna take a lot of love, yeah. It's gonna take a lot of love.
I love that song.
That's a good song.
My friend Nancy Spencer's here. She says she feels like I haven't been here. We missed you, Nancy. How's that beautiful grandbaby of yours? sending you big love. We're so happy you're here. And my mom is texting me because she can't seem to find the link to get on because I don't know. I can't help you. So hopefully my mom will make it on too. But right now, I guess we can talk about it.
Facebook.com/Gary Stockdale Music.
Yeah. So I'll send her that. But sometimes,
Tell her to refresh your page. So I'm going to do a song now for a friend of mine. I don't see her here. Maybe she is, but this is my friend Sally Stevens. She's an American actress, singer, and a vocal contractor. Excuse me. She has sung on hundreds of Simpsons episodes.
Yeah, my mom's here. It is the right date. You made it, Mom. Yay. My mom's in the house.
She's sung on hundreds of The Simpsons episodes and sings the main title, which has been in use since the inception of the show. She also sings the main title for Family Guy and has worked for Seth MacFarlane, the creator of the show, as vocal contractor and singer. She's hired me a couple times since the inception of the series on Fox in 1999. She has sung and been vocal contractor for hundreds of films. She was born in L.A., California, and attended UCLA as a music major. She worked as a production singer in Las Vegas with bookings in 1961 and 1962, and then began to work freelance in recordings and commercials in Los Angeles. She sang on The Danny Kaye Show, 2 seasons, The Carol Burnett Show, and The Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. Her first work in film scores was in 1962, How the West Was Won, then continuing Dr. Zhivago and The Sound of Music. Other solo performances in film, including The Secret of Nim, Exorcist II, The Heretic, and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. There's a whole section where Sally's doing a solo in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. So hold on a second.
Yes, and my brother David's on too. Hi, David. He was just down here visiting. We had a wonderful trip with him visiting, and we got to just reconnect. And he got to go. It was my daughter Savannah's birthday, and yesterday, her 28th birthday. And on Saturday, she played Beyond Wonderland, which is a huge, EDM music festival. It was, 100,000 people. And it was his first experience of seeing Hades on stage, and it was amazing, and seeing her in her element, and she was very excited that we were all there sporting our Hades swag. And then one of the most beautiful things was watching her at her meet and greet, where she goes to the End Overdose tent after her sets, and people can come meet her, and just hearing story after story. Like one of the stories that I eavesdropped on was somebody said, I'm 82 days sober and it's all because of you, Hades. And then, she signed his arm, and then I saw later that he had it made into a tattoo. So, loving that my daughter's putting that ripple effect. And then they come into the overdose.com tent, and they're educated about the Narcan.
And Overdose.
And overdose.com. And they're educated about it, and just watching this beautiful ripple effect. And we gave her a cake on stage, and she threw it out into the crowd, which was really, really fun to watch. But
well, I think there was a DJ named Steve Aoki who is famous for throwing these big sheet cakes out in the crowd. And so Savannah was on the edge of the stage and threw it out, and there was a whole separation between the stage and the people, but she made it all the way out there, and somebody got cake in the face. So that's.
And she said she made sure she threw it out on the drop.
Right, exactly.
When the music did a drop, which, if you know what EDM, you know what that means. But it was pretty special to be there on her 28th birthday, watching her do her thing.
All right, so back to my friend Sally Stevens. As a solo artist, she was greatly influenced by Peggy Lee. She has written lyrics for film and television projects, and her song written with Dave Grusin, Who Comes This Night, is included in James Taylor's first Christmas CD, recorded in 2005. During the late 60s and 70s, she worked extensively in records and commercials. She recorded with Sinatra, Andy Williams, Country Joe and the Fish, Burt Bacharach, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, Paul Revere and the Raiders, Sonny and Cher, Neil Diamond, Dean Martin, Tom Scott, Hugo Montenegro, Ennio Morricone, Percy Faith, Gino Vanelli, Wayne Newton, and Michael Bublé, among many others. She's also the director of the Hollywood Film Chorale. She was also the choral director of the Oscars broadcast for over 20 years, and she put me on that broadcast a couple times, so I'm grateful for that. The most recent broadcast being the 2018 Academy Awards. She's also contracted singers and sang for the 70th Emmy Awards broadcast 2018.
She's also a writer and has had short fiction and poetry published in Offbeat, Between the Pages, Fairy Tales and Folklore Reimagined, Mocking Heart Review, Raven's Perch, Funny in 500, Hermeneutic, Chaos Literary Journal, and the podcast No Extra Words. She's also a fine art photographer. She's really a Renaissance woman. And has had 5 solo fine art black and white photography exhibits in L.A., and some of her photographs of film composers were included in an exhibit at the Cité de la Musique in Paris, France in 2013. So this song, Sally happened to send me a copy of it and said, well, if you're ever interested, here's a song you might want to do for your heartbreak thing. And it wasn't in the right key, but then our good friend, who's another great singer, Bill Edwards, decided to do a chart for it and put it in my key. So I'm very grateful to Bill and to Sally. So here is, this song is called You Don't Have to Live Here Anymore. There we go. Okay. It's just a house, you're free to go. It's just a life you used to know. It's just a street where children play. It's just a stop along the way. And you don't have to live here anymore. And we won't love forever like before. It's a simple thing to change the name upon the door. And you don't have to live here anymore. The house is still, the clock ticks on. The silence says you've stayed too long. I'm trying hard to let you go. You're not the girl I used to know. And you don't have to live here anymore. And we won't love forever like before. It's a simple thing to change the name that's on the door. And you don't have to live here anymore. So many days, so many ways, so many roads we walked along. It's just a town we traveled to. It's just a child that looks like me and you. And you don't have to live here anymore. And we won't live forever like before. It's a simple thing to change the name that's on the door. And you don't have to live here anymore. You don't have to live here anymore.
That one made me cry. I hope you guys had your Kleenex box for that one. That was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great song. I hope Sally gets a chance
I
to
hope
hear
she
it
has
if
a
she's
chance
not
to
here.
hear it. Sally's such a beautiful person
Yes, she
too,
is.
and
Amazing.
I'm really grateful that I get to have known her in my life, and she's just beautiful. But that one certainly brought tears down my cheeks. But also, when you're dealing with heartbreak, when we cry, those tears are liminal tears and they're healing. So I always think when I'm hurting and those tears are running down my face that I'm healing myself and I'm one step closer to, transitioning into something and learning something from that heartbreak. That was beautiful.
Thank you, honey. Well, thank you, Sally, for turning me on to your song. It's beautiful. She wrote a lot of songs. She knew Herb Alpert when Herb Alpert started A&M, and she was doing demos there for songs that they would give other artists and stuff. And so she's done everything. I think she's done just about everything.
She's done a lot, and she's a great person. And she's written a book. You said something about her book.
Oh yes, here's the book.
Here's Sally's book. So if you go out and read Sally's book
here, it is her memoir of her time doing everything
She's
possible
pretty much
to
saying
do
on everything
in show business. Everyone knows her and loves her. She also helped all of us who are in the union and SAG to get the residuals off of things that we get and have scale and all that stuff, making sure that, every time you overdub something, you get paid for that overdub and stuff like that. So anyway, so the next song is a request by Becky Logan Miller. I don't know if Becky is
I
here.
haven't seen Becky yet.
But maybe she'll listen
I love
later.
Becky. Hallie Burton's here. Did I tell you Hallie Burton's here?
Hallie, yeah, we did her request. I don't know if she was here at the beginning
Hallie,
to hear it.
You might have to go back and listen to your request. Sending you big love, Hallie.
So this is from Becky Logan Miller, another friend from LA City College, and it's called "Missing You." It's a song co-written and recorded by English musician John Waite, with an E on the end. It was released in June 1984 as the lead single from his second album, No Breaks. It reached number 1 on Billboard's album Rock Tracks and on the Hot 100, as well as number 9 on the UK singles charts. Missing You was the only record in '84 to spend only a single week at the top of the Hot 100. The song was nominated for the 1985 Best Pop Vocal Performance Male Grammy Award. The original recording was featured in the films Selena and Warm Bodies and the video game Grand Theft Auto Vice City and in the TV series Miami Vice, as well as the comedy sitcom Rules of Engagement. The song is mentioned by Sheila Weller as describing O.J. Simpson's obsession with Nicole Brown Simpson and is the inspiration for the title of her book, Raging Heart. Waite's record label was convinced they had enough songs for the No Breaks album, but he felt it lacked a hit single. He went to a songwriter's house in L.A. who showed him a guitar melody on a cassette tape. Waite listened to the melody once through and the second time improvised the entire first verse, B section, and the Missing You section without stopping. Waite said the song was about 3 women in his life. He was getting divorced, and he was thinking of an old love interest from when he first moved to New York City, as well as a current love interest. He said, "I was singing about New York and distance, the caving in of my marriage, and the options that I had. It was bittersweet, and it was about the end of my marriage and the beginning of something new. Although when I was singing I Ain't Missing You, it was denial, too. He had to convince the record label to spend $5,000 to record one last single, this one, for the album. Missing You was also recorded by Tina Turner and was released as the third single from her 9th solo album, Wildest Dreams, in 1996. As a performer, Waite first came to attention as the lead singer and bassist of The Babies, a British rock band that had moderate chart success. Their songs were Isn't It Time and Every Time I Think of You. The opening line, Every Time I Think of You, is the title of the song by The Babies, and it's also the first line of Missing You. So I guess he likes that line. Oh, and my friend Margaret Horton, I have a friend named Margaret Horton, and I saw her some years ago in the 90s, I think, or something like that, and she said, maybe it might have been 80s, I don't know, but she said, give me an artist, I want to really listen to some really interesting artists. And I said, well, Tom Waits, you should listen to Tom Waits. So she got back to me and she said, well, I heard this John Waite guy, and it's, he's okay, but he's not that, he's no Tom Waits. But he's a good singer, but she always cracked me up. She thought she was listening to John Waite going like, what's so unique about that. But anyway, it's a good song.
Bonnie Beckman's here.
Hello,
Yay,
Bonnie
we're so
Beckman
happy
here.
you made it. Sending you big love.
All right, here we go. Test. Thank you.
Every time I think of you, I always catch my breath, and I'm still standing here, and you're miles away, and I'm wondering why you left. And there's a storm that's raging through my frozen heart tonight. I hear your name in certain circles, and it always makes me smile. I spend my time thinking about you, and it's almost driving me wild. And there's a heart that's breaking down this long distance line tonight. I ain't missing you at all, missing you since you've been gone away. I ain't missing you. No matter what the world might say, there's a message in the wire, and I'm sending you the signal tonight. You don't know how desperate I've become, and it looks like I'm losing this fight. In your world, I have no meaning, though I'm trying hard to understand. And it's my heart that's breaking down this long distance line tonight. I ain't missing you at all, missing you since you've been gone away. I ain't missing you. What my friends say, and there's a message that I'm sending out like a telegraph to your soul. And if I can't bridge this distance, stop this heartbreak overload, I ain't missing you at all, missing you since you've been gone away. I ain't missing you, missing you. No matter what my friends say, I ain't missing you. I ain't missing you. I can lie to myself. I ain't missing you. And there's a storm that's raging through my frozen heart tonight. I ain't missing you at all, missing you since you've been gone away. I ain't missing you, missing you. No matter what my friends say, I ain't missing you. I ain't missing you. I ain't missing you. I can lie to myself, missing you. I ain't missing you. I ain't missing you.
I love that tune. My girlfriend Nancy Spencer and I were just talking. That was like a hit when we were in high school. You know, it was like a slow dance tune at the dances. So, Nancy, you were singing it out with
Who'd
us,
you
baby.
slow dance with, honey?
Oh, all the hotties.
Like who?
Well, I had my boyfriend in high
Andy?
school. I had Andy Larson.
Okay.
Yeah. Andy Larson was like my first love of my life. Yeah. And we're still
Fantastic.
friends. Every now and then I get a call from him. And, when
That's
he
good.
was out here with his wife and they got married, I took them out to dinner.
I love that.
But that was, definitely a high school tune. So it always brings back good memories.
All right, I'm going to do an original tune now.
Yay!
I think we got
like that.
We've got like 2 or 3 more songs to do. So Danny has to get to her dinner, or else she'll
Yes.
get cranky.
I get hangry. Like my little kids, if they get hungry, all of a sudden, they're doing their art projects and doing fun things, and all of a sudden they start throwing shit and things. You're like, all right, well, time for snack, and they're getting in there like snack, snack, snack. We need snack, Danny. And they get hangry.
So this next song is called "One More Day Without You," and it's kind of a 12/8 ballad thing. And I haven't recorded it yet. I have a whole bunch of songs I got to record one of these days. I've been so busy with this musical, but that's my next project, is to get a lot of these songs I've written over the last few years recorded. CDs are only now like souvenirs on gigs. But I do need to get everything out there. So any encouragement you want to give me to do that would be great. But I need to get that out there. So, but anyway, here we go. This is One More Day Without You. Every time that you cross my mind, I feel my heart bursting for you. Like a Jones down deep in my soul, I got such a hurting for you. Now I spend each lonely night thinking of when you held me tight. Try to be strong, keep convincing myself that I'll be alright. I'm sure I'll find a way to live one more day without you. Take each one at a time, that's the best I can do. Without you, without you. Down the way at that small cafe, we'd share a table for two. I pass by, but I can't go inside, knowing that I might see you. All those nights, all those stars in those skies, how their light would shine in their eyes. Now you're just in my dreams, so I wish the sun would decide not to shine. I'm sure I'll find a way to live one more day without you. Take each one at a time, that's the best I can do. Without you, without you, there's no comfort I keep. And I find it gets harder to sleep. Your sweet smile makes my days bright. Now I can barely get through the nights. I spend each lonely night thinking of when you held me tight. I try to be strong, keep convincing myself that I'll be alright. How will I find a way to live one more day without you? Would you come back
have to stay if you knew what I'm going through. Can I just find a way to live one more day without you, without you, without you? Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah, you haven't played that one in a long time, so everybody's saying yes, a CD is a necessity, and it should be on a CD. Suzanne Stewart said yes. Hi, beautiful. We're so happy you're
I'm
here.
great that you're here. Thank you.
And David and Nancy Malvin are here,
Yay.
and they're in Washington overlooking the Columbia River Gorge celebrating Nancy's sister's 60th birthday. What is Nancy's sister's name? So we can say a special happy birthday. Holding, you guys are such love bugs. And the last time we were here, David said something to me that really touched my heart. And he said, you know, what do you do for friends? And what you do for friends is you show up. You keep showing up.
Absolutely.
And that's something that, you know, that we do. Beautiful. So I love you, my friend.
Well, David.
Her name is Kathleen. Happy birthday, Kathleen.
Happy birthday, Kathleen. Happy birthday, Kathleen. Happy birthday, Kathleen. Happy birthday, Kathleen. By the way, my friend David just went to New York to Zankel Hall, which is the small performance space near at Carnegie Hall, where my friend Debbie Gravitt, she was Debbie Shaviro, Debbie Gravitt, sang with David Lawrence, who's Steve Lawrence of Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet's son, and they do a tribute to Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet. I think they're about to do it in Florida someplace. She is awesome. She is still... she's a little younger than me, but not too much, and she's still singing like she always did, and she's an inspiration. I love her. She's fabulous. She sang the first musical theater song I ever wrote, Debbie did, and she won a Tony for Jerome Robbins Broadway for singing the song Mr. Monotony.
Yes.
So she is
Debbie and David Lawrence, Hallie Burton said.
Yep. Absolutely.
And Suzanne Stewart said we need a live tour with the CD, and I think that would be really fun. Let's do a live tour across the country.
Okay,
Let's
sounds
do
good to
it.
me. Sounds good to me. All right.
Yeah, keep bugging Gary for that CD because I'm all for the road trip.
So next, Crying is a song by Roy Orbison and Joe Melson for Orbison's third studio album of the same name. Released, this cover of that is so 50s. It's so great. It's like got this kind of tiki face on it. It's weird. It's a great album cover. It was covered by Don McLean in 78, whose version went to #1 in the UK. Dave Marsh calls the song a rock bolero with blaring strings, hammered timpani, a ghostly chorus, the gentle strum of a guitar, and a hint of marimba. Billboard observes an expressive reading on the country-flavored ballad. The personnel on the original recording includes session regulars Bob Moore on bass, Floyd Kramer on piano. He did that whole country kind of piano, like having the piano be like a guitar. Like that. Roy Kelton and Scotty Moore on guitar. Boudleaux Bryant also, who was a songwriter. Felice and Boudleaux Bryant wrote many great rock and roll songs. Peter will be able to remember them right away. Roy Kelton Orbison, born April 23, 1936, passed away December 6, 1988, was an American singer, songwriter, and musician known for his impassioned singing style, complex song structures, and dark, emotional ballads. His music was described by critics as operatic, earning him the nicknames the Caruso of rock and the Big O. He wrote or co-wrote almost all of his own top 10 hits, including Only the Lonely, Running Scared, Crying, In Dreams, and Oh Pretty Woman. I don't remember who requested Cryin', but somebody did. Roy Orbison was born in Vernon, Texas. All the Orbison children had poor eyesight. Roy used thick corrective lenses from an early age. He was self-conscious about his appearance and began dyeing his nearly white hair black. When he was still young, his schoolmate, Pat Boone, had signed a record deal and had further strengthened his resolve to become a professional musician. He heard a song called Ooby Dooby while he was in college. Sam Phillips heard and eventually signed him. Experimenting with a new sound, Orbison and Joe Melson wrote Only the Lonely Know the Way I Feel. Orbison and Melson tried to pitch it to Elvis but were turned down. Instead, they recorded the song themselves at RCA's Nashville studios, and trying a completely new strategy, building the mix from the top down rather than from the bottom up. The subsequent songs he wrote with Melson were constructed with his voice in mind, specifically to showcase its range and power. He told Rolling Stone in 1988, "I liked the sound of my voice. I liked making it sing, making the voice ring. I just kept doing it. And I think that somewhere between the time of Ooby Dooby and Only the Lonely, it kind of turned into a good voice. I believe it did." After leaving his thick eyeglasses on an aeroplane in 1963 while on tour with the Beatles, Orbison was forced to wear his prescription Wayfarer sunglasses on stage and found that he preferred them. He was not a big fan of the Beatles until he performed with them, and John Lennon was told them how much he was a fan of Roy's, and The Beatles stood dumbfounded backstage as Roy Orbison simply played through 14 encores when they were opening for him, or actually when he opened for them. Finally, when the audience began chanting, "We want Roy again," Lennon and McCartney physically held Orbison back. In Glasgow, we were all backstage listening to the tremendous applause he was getting. He was just standing there, not moving or anything. Orbison felt a kinship with Lennon, but it was Harrison with whom he would later form a strong friendship. He was, of course, in the band, the Traveling Wilburys, with Harrison, I think, and with Bob Dylan and a bunch of other people. So, anyway, so here is Cryin'.
I was all right for a while. I could smile for a while. But I saw you last night. You held my hand so tight as you stopped to say hello. Oh, you wished me well. You couldn't tell that I'd been crying over you, crying over you when you said so long, left me standing all alone, alone and crying, 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 crying. It's hard to understand, but the touch of your hand can start me crying. I thought that I was over you, but it's true, it's true. I love you even more than I did before. But darling, what can I do for you? Don't love me, and I'll always be crying over you, crying over you. Yes, now you're gone, and from this moment on, I'll be crying, 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 crying.
nailed that. Everybody loved that. Everybody was saying, "Oh, like Jay Ross had chills," and Patty Silvershire said, "What an incredible performance!" And somebody said, "You're channeling Roy." There you go.
It's a great song.
And Claire and George Bennell are watching. They're in Cedar City again.
Hey,
and
Claire and
sending
George.
You guys so much love.
We would
and
love to
light.
get together with you guys. We
We
miss
love
you
you
guys so
guys.
much. I don't
You
get
guys
to.
are
I
the
haven't played
best.
with music for them for a while. George is everywhere. George is already
And
always
they're
doing
just
everything.
pure love. I fell in love with Claire the minute I met her. Nancy Spencer said, "Sing it, Gary." Yeah, baby.
Thank
That
you.
was beautiful.
Oh, he's home.
Huh. Oh,
George is home.
Bennell is
We're coming
home.
over. We'll be there tonight. We'll be there.
So Claire's traveling. She's probably going to see her sister, but sending you both love. You guys are just incredible gifts in our life, and I hope you know that.
All right, so I got a request from Anna Rayner to do this. This is our last song, honey. So
Is this the last song?
yes.
All right. So, well, should I say my thing before you say your thing? Because I wanted to share a little.
You can say
something.
your thing
Well,
right now.
you know, this is this is, you know, it's about heartbreak and all. You know, I just want to make sure that all of you know that, that just being here with us, it fills my heart with so much love, and I hope that you know we got to send some little love bubbles out your way, and that you know that you are held and you are surrounded, and those of you who are facing uncertainty and you know things that hurt. I want to read something for you that really touched me, and it's called A Prayer for Endings. God of endings, even as we face uncertainty, we thank you for walking with us across the river of time. Where we believe all is lost and everything is over, show us how the obstacle is our way. We trust that endings we face will not end us. We know that some endings signify a much needed change has come. As humans, we want so terribly to hold on, even when we have prayed for a shift and it arrives at our door. Help us to turn the knob, cross the threshold, and finally close the door on the places that can no longer serve us. Help us to let go and surrender to the disillusion that many endings bring. If we must fall apart, let the shattering reveal the beautiful contents of our hearts, the wisdom that resides there. And when we meet endings that break us, let the crevice that opens within point us toward our soul's expansion, or at least a ray of hope. When we believe our story is complete and done, be the author of our courage, faith, and truth. May we continue. Hold us in our futures through it all. Be an everlasting arm that we can rest upon and a place for us to restore. Do not let us forget that endings are often very brave beginnings dressed in the scariest of costumes. Know that you matter, and I love you, and thank you for coming here tonight. That was a pause. That was an excerpt from Pause Rest Be by Octavia Rahim.
Thank you so much, honey. And you are everything to me. You are everything and everything to me. Everything is you. Yeah, that's right. That's a great song. I'll have to do that sometime. Anyway, we love you. I love you, my dear darling Danelle Stockdale. She's the best, the toddler whisperer. And we will be back next week, and then the week after that, we're going to see the eclipse. The next total eclipse is 22 years from now, so I'm not taking that bet. I'm going to see this one. So anyway, hopefully my dog will still be around. But anyway, so everybody say hello to Sam. She's sitting there looking at me going, I want to go eat. I want to get out of here. So this is called Oh Darlin'. It's a song by English rock band The Beatles, appearing as the fourth song on the album Abbey Road. It was composed by Paul McCartney, credited to Lennon-McCartney. Its working title was Oh Darlin', I'll Never Do You No Harm. Although not issued as a single in either the United Kingdom or the United States, a regional subsidiary of Capitol successfully edited it as a single in Central America, having Maxwell's Silver Hammer on its B-side. McCartney later said of recording the track, "When we were recording Oh Darling, I came in the studios early every day for a week to sing it by myself because at first my voice was too clear. I wanted it to sound as though I'd been performing it on stage all week. He would only try the song once each day. If it was not right, he would wait until the next day." According to sound engineer Alan Parsons, McCartney once lamented that 5 years ago I could have done this in a flash. In a 1980 interview with Playboy magazine, John Lennon said, "Oh Darling was a great one of Paul's that he didn't sing too well. I always thought he could have sung it better. It was more my style than his. He wrote it, so what the hell, he's going to sing it. The song is in the key of A major. George Harrison described the song as a typical 1950s, 60s period song because of its chord structure. The basic track was recorded on 20th of April 1969. There were many overdub sessions, including McCartney's attempts at the lead vocal. The backing vocals were sadly underplayed in the mix, according to Ian MacDonald. Engineer Jeff Emmerich recalls that McCartney sang while the backing track played over speakers instead of headphones because he wanted to feel as though he was singing to a live audience. The song has been performed live by Paul McCartney and the Pretenders' Chrissie Hynde during a memorial concert for Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins on 3rd of September 2022. Oh Darling is a rhythm and blues song incorporating elements of doo-wop and the New Orleans rhythm and blues sound made famous by such musicians as Fats Domino. It also seems to have drawn on Louisiana swamp blues like Slim Harpo and Charles Brown's Please Come Home for Christmas. Furthermore, it may have drawn on the related Louisiana genre known today as swamp pop, whose distinctive sound bears an uncanny resemblance to the basic structure of Oh Darling. When swamp pop musician John Fred met the Beatles in London in the 60s, John Fred being John Fred the Playboy and the Playboy Band, which did Judy in Disguise, he was shocked to hear that they were very familiar with Louisiana music. So here we go. Oh Darling, and thank you so much, everybody. We love you.
Whoa, darling, please believe me, I'll never do you no harm. Believe me when I tell you, I'll never do you no harm. Whoa, darling, if you leave me, I'll never make it alone. Believe me when I take you, I don't ever leave me alone. When you told me you didn't need me anymore, well, you know, I nearly broke down and cried. When you told me you didn't need me anymore, well, you know, I nearly broke down and died. Oh, darling, if you leave me, I'll never make it alone. Oh, believe me when I tell you, oh, I'll never do you no harm. Believe me, darling, when you told me, woo, you didn't need me anymore, well, you know, I nearly broke down and cried. When you told me you didn't need me anymore, well, you know, I nearly broke down and died. Oh, darling, please believe me, I'll never make it alone. Well, believe me, darling, believe me when I tell you, oh, I'll never do you no harm. Woo!
Thank you very much. See you next week.